Good morning or evening based on where you are. So, my question to you today during our morning coffee, before I say, let the shenanigans begin, is have you ever felt like you're behind in life? You know, behind. The key with that is um, it's a deep question that sometimes we don't honestly ask ourselves. Um, Getting my glasses. Ask ourselves, and we don't actually address. We deal with the feeling of all of that. And what we do is we put pressure on ourselves to be where we see others at in our peripheral vision because uh, we've been doing the work, right? In some cases. In some cases, we've been doing the work. And in some cases, we've been a little scattered. So I'm going to talk about a quick story and then we're going to get started if that's okay. Because all we're doing is having coffee, and I just wanted to be an honest, open forum because what we're going to talk about is actually have you ever felt behind? So, years, and I'm putting an S on that, ago, I started my YouTube channel. Then I started another YouTube channel. And then I started another YouTube channel. And all of them had purpose, but none of them was I being 100% all in on. So, what are you desiring to produce that you're not all in on? So, then I have my amazing, wonderful Dr. Baby that came in and she knew what she wanted. Okay, so I even paid somebody to help me set up channels, right? And when I say that, I'm not saying just help me start them because I knew how to start them. I didn't, I wasn't consistent on them. So she came in, she was consistent, she learned it, she all this stuff, right? And and then I saw other people do it and they just seemed like they were going great guns. And I'm like, but I paid somebody. It doesn't matter if you pay somebody to do something if you're not consistent in it, right? You can pay somebody to help you in any area of your life. However, you still got to do the work. You still got to do the work. So, have you ever been behind? So then this weekend, so after I did the book, Identity First, and I was going through all the processes of it because identity is not stagnant. It is not a destination. It is a it is a process. It's an operating system that operates under all the stuff that has happened to us, all of that, all of our life stories. Identity is deeper than that, right? So then I settled, man. And when I say settled, that's not a bad thing. I'm saying I literally stepped into my identity, full blown, gray hair, the whole gamut, right? So what ended up happening is then I started seeing some momentum. So about 2 weeks ago, I said, God, I got more I got more videos up here than I have subs, people that are, am I doing the wrong thing? And he wouldn't say nothing. So sometimes you're doing something, you are being consistent now in it, and you're not getting the results you desire. But am I here to tell you one thing can change everything? So this weekend, got my identity, had a ball, did some things, and suddenly everything is going. So I'm going to do it like this for just a second. I went from what, if you were looking at seasons in life, I went from what I felt like was winter to smack dab in the middle of spring. I want to say I'm almost in summer, but what I would say to you is don't give up, don't give in. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started officially in what the dynamics are for um, you to feel sometimes behind in life. So sometimes we feel behind in our career. We feel behind financially. Behind everybody else, like I said, is moving faster, right? But what if that feeling isn't actually about time, but about comparison? So take a breath and let go. Recognize the season that you're in because each season provides benefits. See, many people start their Mondays off already feeling behind. They feel like they never get caught up. Everything is not perfect. Everything's not done. And they start looking at what they're not versus who they are. And that's real. So again, they'd be behind in every area financially, behind other people who seem to be moving faster. Social media amplifies this feeling because when you start scrolling, you start seeing people living their best life, right? But are they? And what does that have to do with you? When we see someone else's life being magnified, don't be shrink. Don't shrink. You hear me? Don't shrink because that's their life. The thing about it is that's a moment in time for them. See, our timeline may still feel delayed, but the key with that is we have to reframe the situation. I'm going to get into the mind stuff, y'all. We have to reframe the situation. When we reframe it, we can reclaim what we desire as we move forward. So here's something important. Feeling behind is often not about time. It's about comparison, as I mentioned before. And comparison compresses perspective. When you only see someone else's outcome and you don't know their process, hello, you forget the years of invisible work that happened behind the scenes. We talk about people being, they're a one-hit wonder. They came in, look, success just happened for them yesterday, but we have no idea what it took for them to get there. See, growth doesn't move in straight line, and neither does success. Success is not linear, y'all. It has ebbs and flows. So there's three stabilizing principles I want to provide you today. One is your timeline is not a race. Your timeline is not a race. And if you were looking at it being a race, the only person you're racing against is you. What if you looked at your life and said, this is my lane and I win? I win as long as I stay in my lane. What if that was the way you looked at it, right? So different callings move at different speeds. Consistency beats burst. Like people now are doing a lot, especially young people they want to go viral. They want to go viral. But viral will get you on and get you the numbers, but will it keep you there? And then what do you need to do to continue to stay viral? So you're looking for viral, but where's the substance? Now, I'm not knocking you because I've never been viral and I got it. However, consistency is the key, and it literally outweighs burst. So small steps repeatedly weekly outperform sudden navigation and motivation. Clarity compounds progress. The clearer I became on what I was doing and what I was going to offer, the clearer you become on what you're doing and what you desire to offer, the better you'll become. And that is the key. Knowing what matters removes unnecessary pressure. One practical step Choose one meaningful priority this week. One, not 50. One. Choose one. And we live in the area of where there's we say urgent, important, not urgent, not important. If you took a sheet of paper and you cut it off in fourths, then you put urgent, not important. If everything is urgent, you can't do it. If everything is important, you can't do it. So looking at prioritizing and doing the things that really matter, and then determining what is the 20% that will give you the 80% results. Now, that is a work in progress, y'all. But if you take something this week and you say, this is my priority, above the things I need to do, this is the priority and the focus I'm going to keep this week. And then let the main thing, that main thing, be the main thing. Just one thing to move your life forward, to really identify that you're not late. You are building. This is your invitation to move forward. You can comment building in the comments if that's what you're doing, is building. So we have Wednesday Calm. And Wednesday Calm, we're working through it because I want to serve the people and I want to know what that looks like. So I know what I consider calm. See, I consider my voice calm, but everybody may not. So calm is going to have some shifts until we figure that out, because it's not about just me being calm about it. It's about me serving the people that are out there, because y'all mean a great deal to us moving forward. Not because of just the likes and shares, but I do like them. Okay. Not just because of the subscribes, but I do like it. However, serving you from where I can and my identity becomes the power to move forward. And that's what I recommend for you this week, that you look at who you are and how you desire to show up. Now I'm going to have a couple things at the very end for you. So don't rush your minds. Remember, Friday, we're talking about building wealth. We're going to talk about some fun stuff on Friday. So the bonus brain insight that I want to provide to you today, for staying this long, and I appreciate you doing that, is let's think. Here is something powerful. Your brain has bias. It's called available bias. It makes you think whatever you see most often is happening everywhere. So that's why it's so important as to what you feed your brain and what you watch. If all you're watching is chaos, then your brain says everything is chaotic. So it picks up what you're feeding it consistently. So when you constantly see success posts online, your brain starts believing that everybody else and everybody else and everybody else is ahead. But that's not true. That's not reality. Everybody is not ahead. It's exposure. So this week, ask yourself, what progress have I made that I haven't acknowledged? That question redirects your brain toward evidence of growth. So when our brain was created to solve a problem. So when we do that and we ask our brain a question, it looks for the answer. So that is the key with that. And so when we change the question, the brain changes the answer. So again, ask your brain and give yourself the acknowledgement of what has happened. And the last thing I'll tell you is to move from I can't to how can I mindset. I'm going to say it again. To move from a I can't to a how can I mindset. Listen, y'all have an amazing week. Take control of your power. You are brilliant. You are bold. You are brave. Be authentically and completely you as you walk through your journey going forward. See you soon.